Right, before you accuse me of jumping on the bandwagon, I'm not saying I'm not saying what I'm claiming is fact or even theory. I'm saying it's a possibility. Now, let's discuss the evidence, or the evidence that we're told. And obviously, we don't know what's true because we just know what the media's telling us. We just know what the government's telling us. But as far as we're aware, Covid-19 originated in Wuhan, China, around December time. It's up until this date apparently spread around the world to 120 other countries. That's like 2/3 of the world's countries have got Covid-19 now. And so far it's killed approximately 3,500 in China and 5,000 worldwide in 3 months. It's a flu virus. The flu virus is expected to kill up to 5,000 a single day. Now this has killed 5,000 in 3 months. And the world is up in arms about it. The world is in panic about it. Because the government is telling us to be in panic. The media is telling us to be in panic. And nobody's questioning it. But, it's costing the world economy billions, trillions even. Everywhere's shutting down. And what's going to be the long-term effect of this? People are going to lose their jobs. People are going to be suicidal if they start being quarantined and locked away and not allowed out. People are going to start killing themselves. And for what? For saving the weakest of our population, the elderly, and with those with underlying health issues. The 1% of the population, according to the stats, is potentially at risk of dying from Covid-19. And they would rather mess the whole economy up, the world up, just to save these people. They're stopping schools, they're stopping people from going to functions and sports events. The whole world is in a panic and menace that we've never even seen before. And if you look at the facts that we're being told, it's just a flu virus. It's nothing more than a flu virus. The weak always die. The old always die. The people who've got underlying health issues always die. It happens every year. These are people who've only got a few months to live anyway, maybe a few years at tops. They're not going anywhere. And the world government wants to prevent kids from going to school. They want to prevent people from socialising. And the worst thing about it is people are accepting this. In fact, I've had more arguments on this subject than I have Brexit. Because with Brexit it was like a 50-50 thing. With this thing it's like 99.9% of the population agree with what's happening. I know people in Italy and saying, oh yeah, we've got to be quarantined because we have to stop this epidemic. And I'm giving all these facts that I'm getting from BBC news reports, things that are official, not fake news stuff, to show, look, this is how many people die of the flu. And if you compare the stats to Covid-19 isn't even coming close. So why such a panic? Now, I don't know whether there's some government conspiracy or not. But what I do know is if there is, or if there isn't, even if there isn't, the government has learned a valuable lesson here. Do you know what it's learned? It's learned that people can be controlled. They can be controlled in the masses. And not only can they be controlled, not only can they be put into isolation and told to do this, told to do that, not only have they been told to put up with suffering and go into the shop and there's no toilet roll, there's no pasta, there's no rice, people are struggling for food, people are going to starve because they can't stock up because all the food's been taken by all these orders that are bulking up an apocalyptic kind of Holocaust nuclear bomb kind of they're bulking up like there's going to be an atom bomb landing soon or something. People are panicking. The government has caused this because they caused this panic. I'm trying to think in my head, why would the government, the world government, America, Trump, Britain, they're all in on it. Italy, France, Germany, they're all in on this idea that panicking the world is going to be beneficial. They're going to save a few old biddies who are close to dying anyway. For the sake of an economy which is going to cost trillions, which is going to put a lot of lives in a mess. More people are going to die because they're going to starve to death, or because they're going to be suicidal or depressed or whatever. Some people are saying it's possible that it was a virus invented or to kill people and cut down the population. I don't know about all that. It's not killing enough people to have any effect. Even if it kills 1% of the world's population, it doesn't have much of an effect on a 7.8 billion population, which rises by about 80 to 100 million every year anyway. to 1% is not really going to have much impact on that. But what I see as a potential, or if I was a government, I'd be looking at this and I'd be thinking, no, hey, we can aud people. We can put people into pens like sheep, and they'll accept it, like sheep do. You know, people accept being quarantined. There's no riot. Well, I haven't heard anything about riots or anything, or I think there's a prison riot in Italy somewhere, but other than that, you'd expect them to sort of riot. Now, why aren't people rioting? Why aren't people up in arms? Why aren't people doing anything about it? Possibly because society's been weakened over the generations. You know, men have been emasculated. We've had the birth of feminism and gay rights, and there's a lot of promotion about depression. People are always promoting depression like it's a badge of honour, like it's amazing to be depressed. Oh, I'm a warrior, I'm surviving, I've got depression. It's like people are being brainwashed to be weak, and they think it's an amazing thing. Now, masculinity has been attacked. They've been attacking masculinity for the past 100 years. If you're a masculine guy nowadays, you're getting more and more abuse. You're getting treated like you're a rapist, like you're a child molester, like you're a thug. You know, masculinity, men have been feminized now. I mean, they're doing their hair, they're combing their hair and grooming it and plucking their eyebrows and waxing the chest and all this stuff. And you see men with babies now who are single fathers, and they're talking to black women. They're treating their own kids like women, like a mother would. Men have been emasculated. They even treat women like some sort of superior. Men actually treat women like women are superior. Of course, we're the superior ones, but women, you know, feminism has basically belittled men so much that men aren't men anymore. Now, masculinity has always been at the root of uprising. You know, today's guys, I read somewhere something like 12% of all soldiers have PTSD. Guys can't handle stuff anymore. There's so many guys who are suicidal. 3 times more guys have killed themselves than women. So men are becoming weaker, whereas the women are becoming stronger. But society as a whole is becoming weaker because there's a bit of a balance. You know, men was up here, superiority, women were down here. There's been a little bit of a balance, and now women are down here, men are still up there. But men have become weaker, and they can't handle things anymore. Now, history has told us that masculinity has always been the root of uprising. Whether it's been, I don't know, Spartacus, Genghis Khan, Geronimo, the Indian warrior, Crazy Horse, another Indian warrior, Fidel Castro, even Adolf Hitler. They all had an element of masculinity. And without that, you haven't got that brawn, you haven't got that aggression to uprise. Men today are very weak. And that's why men are, I mean, recently they banned sporting events in the UK. And they banned sporting events. I think the football has been banned for 3 weeks. There's no football anymore. No one can go to football matches. But they allowed a racing event. I don't watch racing. Why do they allow a racing event but not football? Because what kind of guys go to football? They're the kind of, I know we've got past the 80s fascist kind of hooligan kind of mentality, but we still have an element of masculinity in football. You know, whereas racing, there's not. It's the la-di-da, ponces, they just get on with life. They don't really do much about it. Whereas the football guys, they've still got a bit of a thuggishness about them. Now, I read somewhere, I watched a documentary, I can't remember, don't quote my facts, I haven't really researched things, I'm not really one for reading scripts, liars read scripts. But I read somewhere about Chairman Mao, who was a Chinese dictator. Don't quote my facts, I may be wrong, but it's something like he stopped people from reading. He didn't want people to be educated because he wanted to learn. So they couldn't read or find out what's going on. If they can't read, they don't know what's going on. Because a lot of things are in print these days. It's not like word of mouth, it's a lot of papers or whatever. They didn't want people to read because they wanted to be illiterate, they wanted to be controlled. Now, on Facebook, I've learnt over the years that people are getting dumber and dumber. I mean, years ago when I used to talk to people or text people on the mobile phones or whatever, before you had to predict a text, people could spell. Nowadays, people can't spell. Facebook seems to be making people dumb. And it's kind of reminds me of what Chairman Mao did by banning books. Books are banned now. Well, not actually banned, people read books, but we've slowly been programmed to be on the internet rather than to read, to talk by typing, and our spelling seems to be got worse. Mine does as well. I've got lazy. I don't really use punctuations and stuff like that. But also another thing Chairman Mao did, again no comment facts. I think he forbid certain people from practicing martial arts. There's a kind of martial art that he did, and in China now they do this kind of martial art in the street where they do all this stuff in the park. It's like exercise, and he banned it, and they now do it all the time. But during Chairman Mao's time, he banned it because he didn't want people to be mixing with each other. Because he knew if they was mixing with each other, they could discuss things and discuss uprisings. And he knew that if they were practicing martial arts, they would become stronger, more powerful. He didn't want people to be strong. Now, today's society is emasculated men so little that men aren't strong anymore. And if they are strong, as I say, they get looked down, they get belittled like some sort of ape, like something prehistoric. You're aggressive, you're violent. You know, you get tarnished with a lot of negativity. And going back to the Covid-19, if the government is weakening people, and they are, it could be a social experiment. It could be seeing what will people do. Does the world elite? I'm not really into this Illuminati thing. I don't know if it's true or not. Okay, as I say, I'm not a conspiracist. I'm just giving an idea. Okay, it may not be true. In a few weeks' time, it may all blow over and may realise, you know, actually the government was right. But at the moment, I'm seeing this one and think, why is the government causing so much hassle, so much negativity? Why are they causing the economy to crash? Why are they causing people to potentially starve to death, potentially suffer manic depression through anxiety? Must be high. I never really had anxiety or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure people are going to be worrying. I do worry a little bit. I'm worried about it, I'll be honest, but I'm not suicidal or anything. But I bet there's a lot of people out there who have probably killed themselves because of this COVID-19, because the brainwashing propaganda. So if it is to save people's lives, I don't think it does that. I don't think it achieves that. I think it's possible that the government are either in the verge of controlling, the world elite are either in the verge of controlling humans, or it's like a trial run. It's a test to see how easy we are controlled. Do we go into these pens willingly, i.e. isolation? Are we sheep? Do we kick off about it? Do we riot about it? Do we do what Spartacus did and go to war with Rome? Or do we just accept it like sheep? Anyway, I mean, it'd be great to hear your thoughts. I'm a very I like to see things from a panoramic, not panoramic, how do you spell the word? Panoramic view. So I like to see things from every view, every angle. So if you've got any ideas, and if you want to troll me or whatever, I don't mind being trolled. I'm not a snowflake. I'll troll you back. If you want to put your points of view down and say, you know, I'm totally wrong or I'm totally right, or add a bit more to it, I'd be willing to hear that. It'd be nice. And I'd also like to hear from anybody who has actually been isolated. And I'll just finish on one key point, which I probably should have mentioned earlier. We keep hearing in the news that, well, in the UK anyway, a patient, I think 22 people have died so far, 24 or something like that, have died up to this date in the UK. They're not naming the names, which is strange because they seem to name other people's names for other things. They're not naming the names of people who died from this disease because they say it's to keep their anonymity. I can't pronounce it. You know what I mean? To keep the names safe out of the paper, which I understand. But they're not naming people, and also the people that are dying, the people that are recovering, we seem to hear all the time, oh, I've got COVID-19, I've not had no symptoms yet, I've just come into quarantine, I'm going to be there for 2 weeks, or I've just come out of quarantine, I had no symptoms at all, I'm fine now. They've done all the tests, I'm fine. It makes you wonder whether it existed in the first place. We're not hearing names of people who died. Why? Because we might know them. Say, oh, my neighbour died, or my uncle died, or my dad died, or whatever. You know, we're not hearing the names, so we can't verify it. And we're also not. We seem to be getting told that all these people are healthy. All the people that survive are healthy. So what's going on? Are we being lied to? Is it a conspiracy? Is it a cover? Whatever. Anyway, it'd be nice to hear your voice, and I'll get back to you.